Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your main man, Six Paths Dunga, coming to you guys again with yet another reaction video. Okay, so first off, I want to say Happy New Year's. I'm recording this on the 30th, but I don't know when it's going to drop. It probably might drop on the 1st of January, so that's why I'm saying Happy New Year's, Happy 2026 to everybody watching this video. Another year down, man. I think I started this channel around like 2023, where I really started to do Boruto content, or just focus on strictly Boruto content, because if you guys know, before this, I was doing like really anything, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, Black Clover, a little bit of that, you know, so it's been a couple years since I strictly focused on Boruto content, and let me just say, it's been some of the best time of my life. Not because I just enjoy Boruto, but also because of the community. I mean, Boruto got one of the best communities I ever seen. Like, everybody just sticks together, you know what I mean? Like, everybody. So in all of like manga, anime, fandom, the Boruto community is one of the better communities to be a part of. And I'm glad I'm more of a prominent figure in the community now. Or if not prominent, then I'm getting there. You guys get what I mean. What better way to start off the year than a reaction video, especially about Boruto and Momoshiki. Now, of course, I just dropped the Boruto Jogan video that I was meaning to make. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that out because it is a banger. I'm telling you guys, don't miss out on it. But anyway, we got 4 new power potentials Boruto could unlock after fully accessing Momoshiki's power. He just awoken the Byakugan. Well, not awoken it, but he just used Momoshiki's Byakugan for the first time, utilizing his X-ray vision capabilities and stuff like that, and integrating it with his own abilities. So here are 4 more powers that he could possibly use later on down the line. So Sharkname, I reacted to him quite a lot in the past. I'm gonna leave the link to his channel down below in the description, so make sure you guys go check that out. At the time of making this video is at 40 likes. So let's see if we could get that around like 60, 70, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't even have to stop there. We can push it to 100, you know what I'm saying? Do we got that pull like that? We gotta see. But anyway, I don't think we should wait any longer. Let's just hop into the video.
If in the world of shinobi we once had legends like Madara, Hashirama, or even Kaguya, at least in this latest era, we have a villain who is truly on a different level. And that villain is Momoshiki. Regardless of fans' various assumptions, especially regarding the...
Man, I just want to say, like, the fact that that's true, Momoshiki is on a different level than anything we've probably seen in Shippuden. But if we go into the Boruto verse, right, Momoshiki doesn't even, like, crack the surface. It just goes to show you that the Boruto power scaling is completely, I don't want to say non-existent, but it's such a higher scale than Naruto. Everybody just thinks is completely broken. I mean, you could say Kaguya is like the strongest villain in the Naruto verse, but then it's like, okay, she's over here scared of Momoshiki. And if you go into Boruto, like, you have so many characters that's stronger than him or been introduced that has the potential to be stronger than him. You know, like Shiba, of course. Then you have characters that are confirmed to be stronger than him, like Jura, Ishiki. So that's what I mean. These new threats are just like insanely powerful. So then it kind of forces the youth to get more powerful too, causing people like Boruto, Kawaki, Sarada, the entirety of Team 10. Like, the whole new generation is way stronger than their parents when they were at their age, because the new threats that the world faces calls for them to become stronger. You know, that's where Boruto gets like 90% of his hate anyway. People just don't understand that, and they probably never will, because they're not willing to just sit down, watch the show, and see for themselves.
I'm confident that the majority of those who have followed the Naruto story up to Boruto, especially the time skip, would agree that Momoshiki's power level surpasses Kaguya's, right?
Yeah.
And we also know that among
if
the
you don't
various
think so, then you're
techniques
just
and
wrong.
powers Momoshiki possesses, there's at least one that I believe no other otsutsuki on Earth could handle. Based on his battle during the Chunin exam, Momoshiki isn't just about physical strength or ninjutsu. He consumes chakra as well. While other otsutsuki may do the same, the issue is that he absorbs all chakra-based techniques like Rasengan, lightning jutsu, water jutsu, and even bijudama. But since the context this time isn't just about Momoshiki, but Boruto is the main topic, what do you think is Momoshiki's actual power that Boruto can use to defeat every enemy, even Jura himself as the main villain? Because, once again, if a figure like Momoshiki has become a part of Boruto, has Boruto been strong all this time because he is Boruto, or even because of Momoshiki? Perhaps this analogy is not too far off from a very familiar one from the previous era. For example, Naruto, because I'm sure you've all heard this question before. Is Naruto strong because he is Naruto, or is Naruto strong because he has Kurama? In this case, Boruto is in the same situation.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we don't have to question whether Boruto is strong because of Momoshiki or not. Boruto in base is taking down code effortlessly. And of course we don't have to ask that question with Naruto too, because we know he's strong, even without Kurama. I'm sorry if I sound a little congested, I'm still getting over my cold, so just bear with me. I know I went through that with the last video, I'm going through it again, it's whatever. I'm not gonna let that stop the grind. We gotta still work. But initially, when we look at the power that Boruto is gonna have because of Momoshiki, it's not just Momoshiki's power that we gotta look out for. I mean, sure, Momoshiki has his, his fancy summons and all that stuff. He has his power where he can stop time and stuff like that. That's cool. And Boruto should have access to that power now that he has Momoshiki's power. But thinking about it a little bit more, there is more power that Momoshiki offers Boruto that he can use now that he has that amped up power. Like, for example, we look at chapter 29, and it wasn't only the Byakugan. The X-ray vision, like I said in the beginning of the video, all the perks that the Byakugan offers his user, Boruto also gets a major power boost. Enough to where we can see Boruto just busting out massive Rasengans left and right. Without the power of the karma, we just don't see Boruto doing that. That's what I mean. Even though it's not Momoshiki's power per se, Boruto can now do this because of the karma seal. Or how about the Rasengan? Even though prior to Momoshiki possessing Boruto's body, he wasn't out here doing the Rasengan. That was something that he learned how to do once he possessed Boruto's body. I mean, in that sense, it is technically Momoshiki's technique. But guess what? Now Boruto can do it because of the karma. And then I guess he's gonna talk about the Rinnegan. I mean, we'll get into that once he talks about it because that is a pretty interesting theory. And I did talk about it in past videos. I'm thinking about talking about it again later on, but I'm not too sure. For right now, it is just a theory. But if Boruto takes that glove off, I don't know. We might be able to see something, but only time will tell.
As I mentioned earlier, the most terrifying power of Momoshiki is his Rinnegan eyes. With the Rinnegan, he can absorb any ninjutsu, so using ninjutsu in front of Momoshiki is like food for him, because after he absorbs the ninjutsu, he can process it into chakra pills that he can eat to strengthen his body or restore his stamina. This is what gives Momoshiki almost unlimited stamina, which sounds crazy. And regardless of how he is ultimately defeated, at least every time he runs out of energy, he only needs to create chakra pills from the ninjutsu he absorbs, right? And of course, does that mean Boruto has a high probability of accessing that power? But guys, if we look at the concept of karma, especially the power of karma itself, does Boruto still need the Rinnegan like Momoshiki? Because after all, if Boruto already has karma, he shouldn't need to use the power of the Rinnegan, which can create chakra pills just to restore his energy. But regardless of whether this will happen or not, at least after Boruto and Momoshiki have...
Yeah, that's the only thing that really has me stumped on this whole thing, because the karma already allows Boruto to absorb chakra, and once he absorbs it, he basically gets that energy back. But then again, on the bright side, that's not the only function of Momoshiki's Rinnegan. So I guess there is a purpose for him to having the Rinnegan, besides just absorbing chakra. You see, in difference to the karma, Momoshiki can not only absorb this chakra, but he can kind of like amplify it and send it back. And the ability he showed earlier on in the video, I guess I'll put a picture up here so you guys can like kind of see what I'm talking about. But something like that shouldn't be possible if Momoshiki didn't have his Palm Rinnegan. I mean, you also have the black receivers that Momoshiki can use. The Rinnegan also helps with that. And now I do believe that Boruto can do it too. That's actually something I've been waiting to see Boruto do. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't do it in the last chapter, but he'll definitely use it against Momoshiki sooner rather than later. And then I suppose dimensional travel, but that's something he also been proven to be able to do without the need of the Rinnegan. So what we're looking at is basically the black receivers, chakra pills, and the ability to send absorbed chakra back to its original user. So there is uses of the Rinnegan besides just absorbing chakra. There can also be some uses that Momoshiki didn't show us. So I wouldn't automatically count that out. Boruto can still use it. It's all about if Ikemoto wants him to have it or not. Because he doesn't need it. No, Boruto does not need the Rinnegan at all. But it's gonna be cool and it does help him. So if he was to ask me, sure, give it to him, it's cool. But just because the karma offers a lot of similar abilities, we might not see it just because of that. I don't know.
First, to be honest, representing this power is actually quite complex. In other words, Boruto has the ability to detect threats, or perhaps more accurately, to predict them. Or maybe it's a power that is very familiar to the Sharingan. But remember, I don't mean to say that it is the Sharingan, and that's why I call it quite complex. For example, after Boruto was ultimately framed by Kawaki for killing his parents, almost all of his friends wanted to kill him. Until one moment, Boruto finally met Mitsuki, who at that time really wanted to kill him. However, as you can see, somehow Momoshiki told Boruto to jump. And without any questions or anything, after Boruto followed Momoshiki's instructions, Boruto managed to avoid an attack that suddenly came from the ground. So in this case, was it just a coincidence? And do you feel that Momoshiki indirectly showed us that he has the power to see 2 steps ahead? Yeah, you know what I mean, right? But since
Precognition.
I mentioned earlier that this ability...
That's one of the Jogan's abilities, actually. Precognition is one of the Jogan's abilities. They even showed us that in an anime when Boruto was fighting along Shinki. They was fighting Urashiki, and before Urashiki's portal manifested, Boruto was able to see where it was to avoid Urashiki's attack, which saved Shinki, I think. So he used this form of precognition to save his own behind, even without Momoshiki's help. But it was already in the form of the Jogan. So that's something to think about. It doesn't necessarily have to correlate to this, but it is something fun to think about. Because, I mean, we already know Momoshiki has some form of precognition himself in the form of his Byakugan. So that's what could be in effect here. Something he already seen, so he just messing with Boruto, helping Boruto out because Momoshiki is just sadistic like that. He wants to see Boruto lose everything. So it's like, that's what that is right there.
What is the most relevant phrase to describe this power or ability? Yeah, I want to hear your opinions, guys. Then, for the next power or ability, you might think this sounds ridiculous. But trust me, it may not be that simple. And the second power or ability is a technique of balance, or it could also be called concentration. Because as we all know, up to this point, one of Boruto's weaknesses is Hiraishi. I mean, Boruto can easily detect chakra in metal as a medium for him to teleport. But of course, Boruto also has limitations or problems when the distance or location is extremely far. Aside from having to control his chakra, he also needs time to focus in order to detect the exact point where he will teleport. And once again, regardless of how you respond to this, especially if it sounds ridiculous because it seems that simple, I'm confident that with Momoshiki's help, this will have a significant impact on Boruto during his fight against Jura later on, especially in maintaining focus when using the Flying Thunder God technique. Because once again, this isn't just about power alone. There are so many things we never even imagined, and something this simple could actually play a very important role. But by using Momoshiki's karma, Boruto's concentration would be far more refined than before. Or even with karma itself, Boruto has massive potential to create portals or something similar to teleport instantly.
I mean, yes, that is a pretty good idea. Already, when Boruto is using the karma, his FTG is already getting a buff because of the Byakugan. But he's saying right here, his concentration is going to be enhanced, which will allow him to use FTG more efficiently. So why is that? Because of Momoshiki's advanced battle IQ, which is now given to Boruto? Does the enhanced concentration have to do with Boruto's otsutsuki DNA? So this implies that the karma might have abilities or secrets that was not yet explored in the series. Because it does make sense the karma may have some cognitive effects on Boruto, but besides just turn him into an otsutsuki, we don't know how else it might affect his brain. Now, on the other hand, I mean, we could confirm that the karma does affect FTG, but it's only because of the Byakugan. You see, because of that eye's X-ray vision, it allows Boruto to see things that he couldn't if he didn't have the Byakugan. Like, just going back to chapter 29 again, he was able to see through the building, multiple Momoshi clones on the other side in the alleyway. He then used Shuriken Jutsu to be able to get there by hitting one of the clones in the back of the head, and then he used FTG. Boom. So right there, you're using the Byakugan or the power of the karma to enhance the mobility that FTG provides its user. So now just going along with the series, right, there's going to be so many different ways we're going to see Boruto use FTG alongside the Byakugan. Like, this is just only the surface, especially when he's in areas that are like heavily wooded or cramped up areas. He can now fight freely. It might also help him better catch his opponents off guard because he can get in their blind spot. I mean, the Byakugan helps out with everything, not just FTG. Shuriken Jutsu, the Rasen Dan, all of it. I mean, it just helps out in general. So I would say that's the biggest prize that Boruto got when he activated his karma, the Byakugan, that's going to be a gateway for many more abilities and techniques he could learn in the future.
That means Karma's abilities could also allow Boruto to track any coordinates quickly and easily. So in other words, it makes perfect sense that Boruto could master the Flying Thunder God to a level that even surpasses Minato in teleportation techniques, right? As for the third power or ability, it will be similar to Kashin Koji's ability.
Okay.
Yes, and that is to see the future. And perhaps so far we have seen how Boruto made decisions
pretty
when
much
he worked with Koji, especially regarding moving towards an ideal future. And we know that Boruto has repeatedly taken actions without involving Kashin Koji, which has certainly caused the future to branch out in different directions. And honestly,
for better or for
we can't
worse,
really blame Boruto for this decision either, especially since Boruto also has his own priorities. But of course, the question is, were these actions, particularly the priorities he chose, even if they ended up ruining the scenario that Kashin Koji had set up, the result of Momoshiki's influence? Or did Boruto even know that?
Like I said, the main reason for Kashin Koji and Boruto's little beef going on, I wouldn't even say beef because they're not beefing, but their differences is just because they both have an idea of how the future is going to go. They both believe what they're doing is in the future's best interest. So when you have two major egos like that collide, it can cause some disagreements. And that's all what's going on here. Boruto feels that some things Kashin Koji does is not really suitable for the future, but they're not talking it out. So Boruto's just gonna go behind his back and do things that he feels is fit. Like going to Sunagakure, talking to Sumire, things like that. Getting Kawaki involved, etc. It's all because you just have these two massive egos colliding with each other or just working together in favor of the future. Something like this is bound to happen.
Instead, he will also master Momoshiki's ability to see the future. But even though the future seen by Momoshiki's Byakugan eyes is not the same as Koji's ability, at least Boruto can see fragments of the future that will happen
inferior.
in the near future. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? By seeing the future, Boruto can change the course of the future he doesn't want, or he can ensure that the future happens as he desires. Yeah, even though this would directly contradict Kashin Koji, that's exactly what will make it the most interesting part, right? And for the last one, the fourth ability, this might not entirely be Momoshiki's power.
Okay, fourth
because
ability.
In reality,
this
is also the foundation of Boruto's own power. Yep, shadow cloning. So far, Boruto has never used that ability. Regardless of the reason, at least in the era before the time skip, Boruto still used that ability. But we also know that Boruto isn't Naruto. And we also know that the chakra capacity between Boruto and Naruto is vastly different.
It is. And I think that's something that Ikemoto wanted to show us by not having Boruto use Shadow Clone Jutsu. He wanted to show us that, yeah, Boruto is not Naruto and he's not going to fight the same. He doesn't utilize Shadow Clones in his fighting style. Like, even when he was fighting against Mitsuki, we could see then he just doesn't care for using Shadow Clones because he doesn't believe that more is better. Now, I'm not taking a shot at Naruto or nothing like that, obviously, but it's just not how he fights. It's not how he's gonna fight. I mean, for one, Boruto can't spam it like his dad, and even if he does spam it like these clones you see on the screen, his power is divided among these clones. So it's probably not the best thing to use when you're up against foes like Jiraiya or whatever, when you're already not strong enough to face him without using Shadow Clones. So what makes you think more is better? It's not. He doesn't have the Nine Tails or nothing, so it's probably best he doesn't use it. Now for Himawari, that's a different case. I do believe she might benefit from Shadow Clones, but as for Boruto, nah, definitely not.
If Boruto uses Shadow Clones on a massive scale, it will drain his chakra significantly.
Pretty
and if
much.
that happens, Boruto will have a big enough opening for Momoshiki to possess him. So maybe this is the
Also
reason
that
why
too.
after the time skip, Boruto is very careful, or perhaps more accurately, considers using Shadow Clones so as not to drain his chakra too much. But if Boruto and Momoshiki have become one, I don't think this is a big problem anymore. That means Boruto doesn't have to worry about running out of chakra. With Momoshiki's help, Boruto should have much more chakra capacity without having to worry about running out if he uses Shadow Clones.
Didn't even think about
And
Shadow Clones.
At least for this point, only the 4 of them possess the potential to master or perfect this technique in the future.
And you know what? It was short and simple to the point. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that for not dragging out the video. So anyway, what is the ability that he mentioned in this video that you think Boruto could benefit from the most? I don't think he mentioned the Rasengan, even though Boruto has the potential to use that. So that's the one I'm gonna add. Let me know what you guys are most excited to see. We have the clairvoyant power, shadow clones, Rinnegan, enhanced concentration, you name it. All those abilities I can say that he should be able to use now that he has Momoshiki's full power. So like I said, let me know which one is your favorite. I'm gonna go with definitely the clairvoyant power and probably shadow clones because I wouldn't mind seeing him use that. But anyway, I'm not gonna drag out this outro too long. I'm not even supposed to be recording right now because of my voice and everything. Voice is still a little scratchy, but hey, it is what it is. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have, make sure you guys go leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you know whenever I upload, or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.